Oh my goodness, this is going to be an exciting one. So today we're going to break down exactly what it's going to take for you to participate at Crucible 2025 for both the Warhammer 40K GT and the Warhammer 40K narrative side as well. While we have a special guest today that's going to break that down for us and exactly that. So stay tuned and locked in, everyone. While we have a special guest today that's going to break that down for us and exactly that. So stay tuned. What is going on, my beautiful people? How is everyone
What's happening?
doing? All right. How you doing, Tim?
I'm hanging in there. If I let go, people just laugh at me when I fall.
I don't think anyone is going to be laughing at you next weekend. I think they're going to be having a wonderful time with you. Thank you so much, Tim Wright, for coming on today, being a special, legendary guest to everyone today. And as always, I have my co-pilot, the driver, the man with opinions, Mr. Regal Fetterman himself.
I'm not allowed to drive. I don't got my license yet. Of the two of us, only he's forklift certified. I'm just here to, learn.
And who you calling old?
Me.
Exactly.
Both of you got more hair than I do, so I'm losing the race.
Yeah.
So before we get into everything today, people, we're gonna break down exactly what it's gonna be for the grand narrative at Crucible 2025 this year. Tim Wright is gonna be breaking down any questions. I know he has some things to prime you all up and get you started. But if you have any questions, please wait until the end, and then he should be able to follow up with all of your questions and answer them properly. So, Tim, whatever you got, whatever you want to break down, if you want me to give you an introductory, I will do so. So, Tim Wright has been the CEO for, correct me if I'm wrong, Tim, 15 years now this year, right? 15 years,
Yes.
Crucible?
Yeah.
So 15-year CEO, owner as the Crucible, and doing a very large convention in the state of Florida, in the city or in Orlando. I believe you've been in Orlando all of those years. I remember I met you around Crucible 5. So I don't know what you were doing previous to that.
So yeah, Orlando and Kissimmee, right? I mean, it's pretty much the same thing. So Central Florida, near either on iDrive or near Disney, depending on the venue, finding a good venue to play at. But yeah, 15 years, 15 insane years. It's crazy.
Beautiful years when you've built a beautiful community, right, of a lot of individuals, a wonderful camaraderie. Actually, two of the events that I kind of grew up on was ATC and Crucible. Crucible being obviously closest to me in the state that I was living in and still currently am. I've always had this, and I know a lot of people can attest to this as well. I've always had this camaraderie, community feeling when I've gone to Crucible.
Yeah.
It's ironically part of the C's of Crucible, right? You go there and it's more than a spectacle, right? It's more than 40K. It's so much more than that. It's events, it's RPGs, it's cosplay, it's people, new people, right? So please help us break it down to the people, if you don't mind.
Absolutely.
Tim, what you're all about.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, the reason why Crucible came into existence was basically its community, right? We would go to conventions, we'd make friends, and there was a convention that we were going to called Necronomicon for fantasy and 40K that stopped, and Craig and some friends, another friend Chris, decided, hey, we need a convention, and to kind of start that up again, I met Craig at a convention, right? I met Chris at a convention. We became friends. They came to me and said, "Hey, let's, what do you think about 40K?" I go, "Let's do it." And we went from a 30-player 40K GT 15 years ago to 140 players. It's just insane, right? And then the narrative, I kind of, my competitiveness kind of waned, and I wanted to just roll dice, tell a story, have a great time. And so about 7 years ago or so, 8 years ago, I ran 2 tournaments at the same time in parallel. I ran a GT and I ran a narrative. Yeah, crazy. I'm insane. I admit it.
Suicide.
And it was suicide. It was crazy, and everybody had a blast. And then you get the personality step up, and Reggie Sanchez to go to the PT. And so
your audio, Tim, is a little backed up.
Is it?
A little off. Yeah.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay. So Reggie Sanchez took up the mantle, the GT, and then
shout out to Reggie. We love Reggie.
Love Reggie. And then this clown came to me and said, "Hey, I want to do it." And I went, "All right, man, you're crazy, but let's do it." And that would be you. And so yeah. So it's amazing, right? The terrain, painting terrain like a madman. We're trying to get all the terrain ready for Crucible this year, so super excited about that. On the GT side, we've got Trevi that's going to be there. That's going to be awesome with Tactical Tortoise streaming. We've got other game systems. Legion, they just hit 50 players on Legion. Kill Team is pushing 40 players for Kill Team. Is that awesome?
Shout out to Jeff and Kill Team, Jordan at Legion. Love it.
So pumped on that. So yeah, AOS, Old World, Middle Earth strategy battle game, BattleTech, Marvel Crisis Protocol, some War Machine. Yeah, it's awesome. And we've got
You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it, sir.
2,000 plus board game library to check out board games. So you'll be able to play board games all weekend. It's freaking amazing. Board games. So yeah, vendors, 50 plus vendors. So yeah, it went from no vendors to 50 vendors. It's just, I don't know. I can't imagine. It's crazy. Crazy.
Baron of Dice is gonna be
Baron
there.
of Dice is gonna be there. Yep.
Reality is gonna be there. Shout out to Creality.
Yep.
Thank you for the sponsorship. Thank you to Coliseum of Comics, the Collective.
Yep.
Everyone, just all of the vendors that are going to be out there. It's just going to be amazing. So, what people are really excited about, right? It's going to be obviously the con itself. They're going to be going nuts, right?
Yes.
But more specifically, the grand narrative that you're running, right?
Right.
Try to at least educate a couple people, maybe that they might have some questions that are lingering. Maybe some people don't understand exactly what packet or what type of, rule systems you might be using throughout the weekend, right? Because I know you're doing something very special. So please break it down for the people. At least if they're not watching it now, they can watch it a little bit later.
Absolutely. So first of all, it's 40K. That's Warhammer 40K. So you'll need a 40K army, right? Just like everybody else. There's going to be 6 games, so 6 rounds, 3-hour rounds, just like any event tournament you go to. So that structure is going to be in place. We're going to use Best Coast pairing to make the pairings anonymous, and so that you're playing different players. So that structure is going to be very familiar to those that play in tournaments. It's going to be Swiss pairings. So that format. So there you go. There's a baseline. That is the same in the GT and in the narrative. So here's where it goes divergence, right? Here's where it goes a little crazy, a little changes here.
Yeah. Well, this is where it goes fun. This is amazing.
Absolutely.
People, okay.
Absolutely.
This is where it gets great. When you witness this in person, it's an amazing time. Just got to put that out there.
So there's going to be a character driving the entire story all weekend. He's a missionary, a humble missionary of the Imperium, and he's going to be driving the story that you're going to that the players in the narrative will be playing in the middle of and help developing the story. So
Yes.
Format. Let's talk about format. The biggest question is what do I need to bring? How much do I bring? What are the limitations, if any? And how do I go about it? Well, so you're allowed to bring 3,000 points, up to 3,000 points. If you don't have 3,000 points, you only have 2,000 points, that's fine. But you have to have a minimum of 2,000 up to 3,000. So there is no army submission, right? You don't have to submit a list, right? You just need to have your 3,000 points army in play. Each game, you construct your army based on that 3,000 points that you bring, right? So if your opponent wants to play with a big baddie, then you say, awesome, then I will play with my big baddie, and we get to go duke it out, right? So I want to play with my Baneblade. Awesome. I want to play with Magnus. Let's do it, right? And you tell a story based on that, and you play a game, all right? So that's the part. Now, what are the limitations? Well, your enhancements are purchased just like they are in any tournament, in any event. And those enhancements stay with those characters throughout the entire weekend. So you can't bounce around your enhancements. You can't bounce around the structure of your characters. They're in place, right? Your warlord's the same throughout the entire weekend. So that's your warlord. He's the same throughout the weekend. And that's important because there's going to be some story driven on that. Legends, you can bring legends. So you've got that Wraith Seer that you painted up. I have one. I have 3.
Yeah.
And you can't play them in a normal game, and you can bring them. So there you go. You got your Wraith Seer or that Bone Singer. I'm doing my little Eldar here, right? So you can bring those elements if you want. They're built into your 3,000 points of your army that you're bringing. Okay.
Yep. Tuska's coming, Tom's.
All right. So you've got all this in play, right? So there's your army construction. So legends are allowed. WYSIWYG is not enforced. However,
Legends? What? That is
legends
awesome.
and WYSIWYG are not enforced. However, you want to bring one list that has WYSIWYG. Hint, 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 hint. I'll explain that a little bit more later. All right. So that's the structure of what you need to bring. You need to bring your dice. You need to bring your objective markers. You need to bring your tape measure, just like you would in a tournament, right? I would recommend bringing your mission deck for the chapter approved mission deck, the current one. You should bring that, right? So as they're going to be they're not necessarily going to be in use, but they're going to be needed maybe for deployments, because there might be some asymmetrical deployments going on, right? Which are found in the deck. So asymmetrical deployments are potential, which means there's going to be crazy deployments, right? Each mission will be presented before the game. So it's going to be part of a story, a narrative that you're telling throughout the weekend. So that's how the missions are going. Secondaries will be built into the mission. So you're not going to have to be drawing mission cards. Maybe you will, but there'll be secondaries in play. There'll be some shenanigans there. There'll be some crazy elements, crazy environmental conditions that may be in play. Some twists might be in play. So those are all going to be happening, right? So what does that mean? It means we're going to have a lot of fun. That's what it means. It means that we're going to be rolling some dice and having a great time.
I told you, and I'm going to tell people now, one of these years, I'm going to dress up as a jackal, because everyone knows I love world eaters, and that's the closest I'm getting as a world eater. I am not putting on a Khorne Berserker power armor on. I'm not doing it. I'll be too hot. But I'll be a jackal. One year, I'm gonna come in with a chainsword and dress in with like some ragged clothes and be a jackal for you.
That'd be awesome.
So for those of you who don't know, the narrative also has cosplay in it as well. So
absolutely,
if you were there last year, it's absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. So before you continue on, Tim,
yes,
someone has a question for you.
Okay.
So it's Mr. Sir C. Cow. What if they have a model that has to be your warlord like the Lion? Will I have to keep him as your warlord throughout the entire event?
That is a great question. You need to have a secondary warlord. You need to have a second in command, so that when you don't play the Lion, that second in command takes over. So that is a great question. So Magnus has to be the warlord.
So even if he's not on your list, or would I have to be in every list?
Correct.
Okay.
So you have to have a warlord, right? And there are the Primarchs have to be your warlord, right? So if he's not in your list, he's your primary warlord, but you have to have a secondary for that case. So have that prepared, right? So that when you don't, someone doesn't want, it's not appropriate to bring the Lion to play, and you want to bring your lieutenant, or your chapter master, your captain as your second in command. He can be your warlord for that game. So that's a great question. So, how do you play the game? Can you? No, you cannot. Pick one detachment. It's your detachment the whole weekend. So one detachment. Thank you. That was a good question. That's on my list too.
No, only one detachment. So that
only one detachment.
So that
answer one detachment. Well. Yep. One detachment the whole weekend. So all right. So, how do you get loot? How do you drive the narrative, and how do you get loot? Well, everybody will be given an achievement sheet. So this sheet will have a variety of items on there that you'll need to accomplish throughout the weekend. So 30, 40 or so achievements all over the place, all across the board, right? And you check off these achievements as you accomplish them. Each achievement is a D6. At the end of the event, we do a roll off. Every achievement you've got generates a D6, and you take that pile of dice and we do a roll off for the loot. So the last one out gets to pick the biggest, gets to pick first on the prizes. And we go back from that. So there's going to be about 35 to 40 achievements that you will need to accomplish. And as you accomplish them throughout the weekend, you check them off. And then from there, you go and do a roll-off at the end. So that's our 7th game, right? We have 6 rounds we play, and then the 7th round is a roll-off.
Thank you. So you are doing 2, 2, and 2, right?
Correct. Yep.
Love it. I love it, because that's exactly what I told somebody else when they asked me. And I was like, I was in a crunch and I couldn't contact you. And I was like, I really hope that's what it is.
Yeah. So 2, 2, and 2, and then a roll off at the end, right?
Yes.
But there's more to play for. So throughout the event, right, there are 3 major prizes. Well, 4 actually. There's 4 major prizes. There's Epic General. There's Epic Shot, Epic Misfire, and Epic Narrative. And so these are 4 trophies that you can earn throughout the weekend. And Epic Captain is the best general. Epic General is the best general. Epic Shot, Epic Misfire. Throughout the weekend, you submit stories. You submit situations throughout that happen during the game, and they get voted on for Epic Shot and Epic Misfire. So what are they? Well, one year we had a player that needed to make 11 Terminator saves, 11 2-up saves. He rolled 10 ones. Wow. That won the Epic Misfire.
I'm still here. My camera is just acting funny.
Yep. And then we had one year where a lonely Astro Militarium sergeant killed a demon prince in hand-to-hand combat, and that won the Epic Shot. So you submit these amazing parts of the game. You submit them, and then they get voted on. One year we had a player that sent his warlock into enemy lines and took a psychic test and rolled a 6 and a 1, or 6 and a 3, and he did a dice reroll to perils on purpose. He blew up and he killed people. And that was, I couldn't figure out if that was an Epic Shot or Epic Misfire. So it just was epic. And he got an Epic award for that. So those are zany things that happen. Epic Narrative. Epic narrative is a combination between paint, story, army presentation. We had one year where we had a player had his orcs set up like it was a concert, a rock concert, and he had a display board to represent it with LED lights, and he had an old phone that was playing a video that he clipped together that was a rock video with orcs, and he had that running on there. So we had one year we had a player that he painted his Necrons in chrome and built a shadow box display board with blacklight, and so they all lit up. So his Necrons were lighting up So get
John,
crazy.
That was John. Wasn't that John?
No, it was Eric Adams.
Eric, that's what it was. John. Eric, that's right. Yeah, John said hello, by the way.
Hey, John. So those are the big prizes for trophy wise, and then we'll have loot that'll be raffled off throughout the weekend. Prizes from everything from props to GW swag to hobby supplies, and those will be raffled out throughout the weekend, just like the GTS.
Yep.
So that is basically it in a nutshell.
Yep. And before we get into the GT, Tim will just kind of answer any questions anyone else has on the narrative side, and then we'll talk about everything related in the GT side. Regal, feel free to probe me, ask all the stupid questions. What is 2 minus 3 times 2 minus 5?
No.
Why equations?
Hey, Judge, this terrain piece in the way of my deployment zone line, and so can I move the terrain to put my thing down and just that's okay?
Listen, man, I'll just quit and start playing in the narrative with Tim. Okay.
Regal, you bring up a good point. I forgot to say the table and the trains are over the top, right? We have 4 or 5 story buildings. We have theme tables. We're gonna have some Necron tables this year.
Love it.
So the theme is going to be over the top. It's going to be very lots of terrain, lots of things to look at. Really cool. You're just going to be amazing. It's just going to be an awesome place to play, right? And roll some dice.
And immersive.
There you go. Immersive.
Yes.
You and your big words. You can adjudicate that.
Just one table is gonna be nothing but just a neoprene mat. Tell both people just to deploy their stuff, and then just set a cat down and say whoever's army's the last model wins.
Yeah.
Call it beast of burden. Nope. Just sit here for 3 hours, let the cat do its thing.
You bring up a cat. My son and I were playing a game, and in the middle of the game, our cat jumped on the table and destroyed both of our armies. So it was awesome.
Hello, Chris Todd. But no,
Chris, hello.
I play in the GT. I played last year, but I did see a lot of the narrative side stuff. And I assume he's being humble, but last year Tim himself was also over the top as the event went on. I'm not going to spoil it in case there was something similar this year, but your master, your humble missionary, if you will, you'll notice as the event goes on, just keep an eye on him as well.
Yep.
Hint.
Yes.
I was being very subtle with it. Hopefully they picked it up.
We had a lot of fun, and we're going to have a lot of fun this year.
An amazing time. If you have any convention questions, we're going to be walking around with yellow T-shirts, right?
Yellow lanyards.
Is it the yellow? Okay, the lanyards. Oh my gosh. Yes. Is it just the lanyards? That's it. Okay.
Yeah.
We had a QuestCon T-shirt as well.
Yeah. So we do have a QuestCon T-shirt, and but I'm not sure. Yep. There'll be lots of people all around that will be able to help you. Yep. So if you haven't got your tickets yet, you need to get your tickets.
Get your tickets
because they're selling out fast.
Really fast, and there's going to be a ton of people there. There's going to be a ton of shows. They're going to have a Solar Crown painting contest as well.
Yes.
For the entire convention. right? They're doing. I know Donnie Dynamo, right? I believe it's Donnie Dynamo. He's doing single models. So for those of you, there you go. So for paint and takes, and he's doing single model awards as well. I believe he said.
Yeah.
So those of you who are bringing in single models, you can get those competition ready and judged at that event. You need to sign up online, questcon.com. Questcon.com, is it? I'll put it down here in the description section for everyone.
There are a few spaces left in the narrative, but you need to hurry up and get your ticket as soon as you can.
Yes.
Also, too, the venue has the parking. There's a fee for parking. It's $8 a day. However, you can prepay for $20 for the entire weekend. Save some money.
This is a good point. Where might people find the link to buy these tickets at this event, and also any more information like what time it's starting, how late they expect it to run, basically all the information they could read at their leisure.
It's at questconorlando.com. And then up at the top corner, there's a button that says get your badge, and when you click on that, it opens up all the different things that you can purchase. You can get your t-shirt in advance. We have awesome dice this year. I'm really, really excited about the dice. It's probably my favorite dice that we've ordered out of all the years. I'm super excited about that. Poker chips. We've got patches. So lots of cool swag, metal coins, all the cool convention stuff. Some of it's included in the 40K package. Some of it is extra. We got a cool t-shirt. You can see it in the background there with the big dragon, with the wizard riding the dragon, carrying a chain sword staff.
There you go.
And then we got a patch, right? You'll be getting a patch this year. So we're super excited about bringing that back. Yes. Great question, Todd. You bring your army. It's going to be best painted. Display boards help with the narrative part. But yes, bring your best painted stuff for sure.
With the special guests too. There's going to be doing the paint judging as well.
Yep, absolutely. Duff is going to be doing the painting judging, and Tim doesn't have to judge painting. Because it's the hardest thing to do in the world. It is the most difficult thing to do.
You welcome.
Yeah,
I know, and but honestly, it's just great to have a high level artist, right? Not that you're not an artist, Tim. We know you're an amazing painter. He's always been. For those of you who've ever been to my GTs, you know that Tim is my painting judge, right? Because I suck at it. But this guy, Neil Duffy, shout out to Neil Duffy. Go check him out. I know he has a Twitch channel. He's on Facebook as well. On my player packet, I have every single sponsor in, and on my emails, I've spammed them every single where. So go check that all out. But Neil Duffy is absolutely amazing, an amazing artist. He does all kind of painting contests. He goes to all of the cons, and he will be with us this year at Crucible.
Yes, awesome.
So love it.
Yes.
All right. So no more further questions for the narrative side? Going once, going twice. Sold. All right. So Tim, if you want to hang around, feel free.
Absolutely. Let's party.
Let's do it. So we're gonna jump into a quick commercial break. We gotta pay the bills real quick because we gotta feed this man Regal. Look at him. He needs to eat. He's getting thin. He's losing his hair.
I did lose pounds in a week, but that was the goal. That wasn't an accident. So
feed this man, please. I'll put up that banner too, so you know exactly where to feed this man. But stay tuned and locked in while we play one of our sponsors that's actually going to be at Crucible as well. So go ahead and check them out and make sure to make a purchase. Now with a word from our sponsor, Baron of Dice. Baron of Dice is your one-stop shop for premium wargaming dice. Our dice are made with premium resin materials and colored dyes. Each die is hand-mixed to the desired result and then carefully swirled with 2, 3 or 4 colors in a silicone mold before being laser engraved with a wicked symbol and finished in a matte or gloss polish. There are no imperfections in our dice, no balancing issues, no micro bubbles or mold lines. This is the difference between. You can, quite literally, feel and hear a difference with our dice. Whatever game you play, whatever style your team or faction rocks, we're sure to have something to elevate your game. With over 500 styles and over 4,000 customer reviews, welcome to the best dice on the planet. Now back to our show. All right, my beautiful people, we are back at it. So thank you very much once again for watching that commercial. Go check out Baron of Dice if you can. He will be at QuestCon Enter the Crucible 2025 this year. That is September 19th to the 21st. Come in, purchase a daily ticket. Correct me if I'm wrong, Tim. I believe daily ticket is $35, $45.
35, 25 for Friday, 35 for Saturday. So
there you go.
Yep. Yeah.
There
if you can't play in the event, come in and at least support the con by coming in, do some shopping. There'll be a couple of tables open for free play. So bring your army and get a pickup game. Yep. Board game. Yeah.
Beautiful. Took the words right out of my mouth. Thank you very much, Tim. Real quick, where do I send photos of my kit bashes to check if they're okay for use? So this is for the narrative, Tim.
Yep. Tim at QuestConOrlando.com.
And I believe that is also in the pack as well, is it? Or the information as well, if they want to know about that?
Yep.
Yeah, it's in there. It's when you go to purchase the tickets or where you did purchase the tickets, Tim's email should be under the description section for his actual event. So all his information should be in there.
Hey, Drew. How's it going, Drew?
Yeah, there you go. You got Drew in there. Shout out to Drew. All right, let's get started with the GT side, my people. So I have a little presentation slide that Thomas, he volunteered to talk out.
All of it.
I kid, of course. What we got, brother? So
first one, look, this is me because I'm guilty of all this. I am notorious for getting yellow carded at events for not following the simplest instructions.
This is a Q&A just to prime you up. If you have any questions, wait to the end and then I'll answer them for you.
So if someone wanted to submit their list, how and when should they do that to play in the event? Because this is not the narrative. You do need a submitted list prior to the event starting.
That's a great question.
10-point deduction and yellow card.
Right. And also, before September 16th.
Yes.
So it is not day of, it is not night before. It is, I believe, next Tuesday.
And for those of you who are wondering, have already asked me on Discord, right? The Imperial Knights will not be legal for Crucible.
To explain people who don't know, their rules previews have come out, and some people, and this is myself I'm talking about, thought that they were going to release this Saturday, but the Knight Codex is not legal until the Saturday of Crucible, and right. Crucible, you see, starts on Friday, so it is about a week late to be legal for tournament use.
It is literally illegal to go back in time. I mean, it is impossible to go back in time and play a codex that doesn't even exist yet.
I was just about to ask, what do you know that we don't? How is your secret?
Can't go back in time. Just can't do it.
You can't. The hive mind can't. You know what? No, sorry. That's not me. That's what orc was it that went back in time and killed himself for his favorite gun?
Oh my gosh. I know what you're talking about too.
And notably, didn't die because Wa energy. He just killed his past self and just kept wawing on. But
we'll think about it. We'll come back to that.
Next question. What about new codexes and data slates? And relevant to the Knights thing. Only rules before September 16th are legal. So to infer a little bit, if the FAQ doesn't drop this week, the FAQ is not in effect for Crucible if it drops next week. Because, well, theoretically, I suppose it could drop Monday or Tuesday. But if it doesn't drop by Tuesday at midnight, we're playing with the rules and points we got.
And this is probably something it's going to be on the narrative side too, right? It would probably be impossible for Tim to allow a brand new Imperial Knights Codex
Correct.
on Friday when it drops on Saturday, when it's publicly legal on Saturday. Yep. So just so everyone kind of understands, if you're watching us for both the narrative and the GT, some of these rules are going to cross over. Also, Raven Guard and the Imperial Fist, right? They have newer models, newer data sheets. If they don't give us a points cost for those newer models, you're not going to be able to use them. So you can use the detachment. You can use the Raven Guard detachment, but you can't use the enhancements, right? Because we don't publicly have the points yet. So it gets very weird in what's going to be legal for the GT side. And I'm assuming on Tim's side as well, because he's not going to be able to stand on anything that is not legal in the face of Games Workshop. So
So to be clear, because these gentlemen work very hard, I don't want to throw confusion into all their hard work and the event they're trying to give all of us to enjoy over 3 days. So this is strictly hyperbole. Do not take it seriously. I am not on the council decision making. I want to make that very obvious before I say this. But would it or would it not be like the sickest thing for Saturday, the Vaults of Mars to open and just a Knight Legion walk out with defenders and just new guns just terrorizing tables?
Well, to answer your question, it depends. Because if you're a General Slaughter and sporting the wrong side of the railroad track, no. But if you're an Imperial Guardsman, you'd be like going, yeah.
I am on the correct side of the railroad tracks.
Well, I have a theory on Tyranids. They're the only good race in 40K. They're just grocery shopping.
Somebody
They're just going grocery shopping.
A bear is not evil for eating a salmon out of a river. You see, this guy gets.
They're just grocery shopping.
I knew you were a missionary for the correct emperor, the one.
However, BOGO doesn't exist, and they kind of went a little too far on the BOGO. They ate 2 instead of 1. I'm just saying they probably should have left at just 1. But anyway, I digress.
No,
yes,
you're right. They went after the Ultramarine first, and that is not what you do.
An excellent statement, Chris Todd. I love you. Thank you very much. I hope that everyone understands what this man is saying right now. It is your responsibility to make sure that whatever happens potentially that weekend, or even if it's just the Imperial Knights, right, that you shut off your updates for your GW app. It is your responsibility. Please do not come to the event using rules that are outdated, or using rules that are newer, rather new.
Yep.
I would also highly suggest you print out all your rules for your detachment and print out your army list with points visible. Because even if you do that, let's say your phone has an update and resends your Play Store or your iTunes Store, and it auto updates itself. You don't want to be the guy Sunday morning coming to General Slaughter being like, "Oh, hey, it's just better safe than sorry." So every safeguard you can do is just going to make your event run smoother and less. What is it? Less Murphy's Law.
Yeah. Less attrition. True indeed. Less Murphy's Law as well.
But next question, can I use Wahapedia or Battlescribe, speaking of apps? No, only use the official Games Workshop app or New Recruit. And you must have official rules on hand, which goes back to just have your rules on you, either, preferably a codex. But if you're using like a Grotmis attachment that isn't in, or a FA or a Data Sleep attachment that wasn't put in a book, a print up of it to show your opponent, or a judge if they're called to see how a stratagem or ability works. Here, GW printed, you can read it, their PDF. It just again covers you from any misunderstandings, mistakes, apps updating, whatever.
That goes for legends on the narrative side. Have those rules on hand because you need those rules to back up your legend model.
Man, you said legends, and I just had a vision of just 3 Dimacarons just running across the map. I'm just like, yes. Like 3 Norn emissaries, 3 Norn assimilators, 3 Dimacarons, like a Hive Tyrant, a Swarm Lord, and just Maliceptor.
Yep, everything back at it.
You have a good one, sir. Thanks for joining us.
Tim and I and Regal will all see you there. Make sure to stop by and say hello. Also, I wanted to elaborate and kind of expand on this more so. The Wahapedia side, I'm not telling you what to do with your life. Listen, use your Wahapedia, but don't give me or don't ask me a question or Tim and use Wahapedia as your source of rules, right? So don't come to us with your Wahapedia out saying, hey, these are the rules, how this is work. It should be a codex or it should be the GW application. It should only be official things. And Battlescribe, everyone knows Battlescribe is dead. Use Battlescribe if you're using it, but you're not. You're going to be in the wrong most of the time because the points are going to be off. But do not submit your list in Battlescribe when it comes to the GT side. I will decline it.
I wrote my list on a napkin and sent him a picture.
That's okay with me. They have that. As long as it's legal, it has a point in the war gear and enhancements, I'm fine. I'm good.
I just wrote Tyranids claws. Every single model has claws on it. I'm good. Don't worry about it. No, but for real, make sure your stuff's accurate as well. That's a good point. For example, the Hive Tyrant does not come stock standard with a gun. You have to go in and change to have gun option. And there are many other things, like if a sergeant has a plasma pistol or inferno pistol, etc. So make sure you go and do that and don't just set them in, have the points there, and go on your way. And suddenly, well, actually, my captain is a power fist, not a master crafted power sword. And it just war gear is important. Make sure that is accurate and displayed clearly. Sorry, just wanted to throw that last thing in there for list building.
This is for Tim. How big are you on WYSIWYG, Tim?
So for the narrative, WYSIWYG is not a requirement. However, if you are going to, so there's 2 caveats to that. Number 1, I would have a list that's WYSIWYG for at least 1 game. Just saying. That's a hint. I'll leave it at that. Number 2, if you are in a scenario where game 1 you play it with a bolter, game 2 you play it with a combi weapon, that's double points. So that counts as double points towards your 3,000 max. So keep that in play, right? Does that make sense?
Love it.
But I also say how very Imperium logic to say that guy has 2 guns, let's charge him twice as much.
Absolutely.
For the GT side, it is WYSIWYG. I have told few individuals officially that if you use something that has different war gear in it, that's okay to be used, but if it becomes a complication throughout the games, because you might be using a weapon through and changing your weapons throughout every single round, that unit will be removed. Otherwise, try to be as WYSIWYG as possible. That's what I always strive to tell people. Try to come as WYSIWYG as possible. And
by complications, he means if you're Biovore, fighter Spore Mine, and then they drop down, 5 Scions to steal your home objective by the Biovore, it is not suddenly a Pyrovore with a Twin Link Flamer to kill them.
Exactly.
Because those are both the same kit, and if you don't know Tyranids, you will not know which is which, and you could very easily get it over. So once you fire the gun as X, it stays X all 5 rounds. That's play honestly. Here's a relevant question. What is the advanced stance on proxies and 3D prints?
That's also why I brought down the banner as well. In that Discord channel right there, I answer all of those questions already in the Crucible section in there. But to answer it live, right? So for ease of access, Let me see his question again. I'm sorry.
We'll get to it at the end. You know, we did say questions will come at the end, so let's give you time to think about it, and we'll continue going to the slides.
No. I just forgot the question. Sorry. So we don't allow. I forgot the question. Sorry, we don't allow proxies, but 3D prints I really don't mind. And proxies, just so everyone is clear, I clarified that on there as well. A proxy is like using a Votan model as a Space Marine. A counts as is using a creature caster Demon Prince Slanesh looking chick for your Slanesh DP that looks similar to Games Workshop stuff. So if it looks similar to counts as, if it's something completely different, it's a proxy. I don't allow proxies. And 3D prints, I don't mind at all, as long as it's close looking, right? If it's thematic, even more.
Yep.
Yeah, if it's thematic, like I have a guy who is coming with, what is it? What are the dinosaurs' name in Age of Sigmar?
The
Lizardman.
Yeah, well,
yeah, but they have a different name.
I'm having a brain fart. They were lizardmen before. Now they're oh my gosh.
Saurus?
Something. I don't remember, but yes, lizardmen. He's using lizardmen as his Tau army. And I mean their equivalent Seraphim. Thank you very much. Thank you, Drew. Seraphim.
I can't believe I couldn't think of that.
Yeah. Me too. I like that faction. He's using Seraphim as his Tau army, but they're equal in size. Things look very proportional. Everything has the same base size, and it looks incredible. So if you're going to theme out your army, I want to encourage that.
I was going to say Skinks, that I had this idea of like a Godzilla-sized thing just being the Riptide. I'm like, that's even better.
So back in the day when Eldar could summon demons, I had an Exodite army, so I had all my Eldar riding dinosaurs, and my Farseers were bringing Skinks and the warriors, and the warriors were counted as Nurgle, plague the plague demons, and the Skinks were old pink whores and blue whores. So I was summoning dinosaurs, so it made sense in my Eldar mind to do that back in the dark ages of 40K when Eldar could summon demons.
Anyway, love it.
They were like
tangent
80% Drukhari. They just didn't know it yet.
Yeah, right.
So how many rounds is Crucible? So like Tim said, the narrative side is going to be 6. So it's Friday 2, Saturday 2, Sunday 2, and then the GT side is 2, 3, 2.
That Saturday, that third game, man.
But that's where it comes. That's where it comes into the next Q&A and how those brackets work, right? Because after round 3, like Regal is talking about, right? So this is the exciting moment on the GT portion where you're either going into the champions bracket or you're going to continue on into the elites bracket. And in the elites bracket, there's still opportunities to win prizes, 1st through 3rd, things like that. Similar things to what Tim has on the narrative side. We all share all of the same sponsors and love. So you will get all the love there as well. Just not as much because we like to reserve that for the narrative. I think it's well earned on that end. But there's going to be a golden ticket. There is going to also be a golden ticket for the top bracket. So how do the brackets work? You get split up into essentially a brand new tournament. All right. There is a marginal, and I mean marginal, percentage that transfers over from your 3 previous games into your 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. All right. In this new tournament, which it essentially is, you will have the opportunity to play 4 more games. And if you win 4 more games, win strength of schedule, things like that, you will have the opportunity to get into first place, get a trophy, get a golden ticket as well in that category. So you're going to essentially kind of lose one of your first games on Friday, probably more egregious than that. Just kind of read into the lines like Tim's been telling you all night, right? And then on the Saturday, get super pumped and do very well. and come on out on top.
Or you just win all 7 rounds, just go 7-0, win the event.
Or be the person, the man or the woman to win it all.
You just don't account for failure.
That's right. No pressure. No pressure. It's just 7 rounds or 6 rounds if you're going to the narrative, but no pressure.
Just blame your dice, blame the TO for picking bad missions, blame the terrain, everything. You did your best. It wasn't you. I'm gonna get kicked off the show. This is my last show.
Gosh. So when is the social night? So we are very excited, Tim and I, to bring something new, something that's very familiar to a lot of different conventions, especially if you go to like a Games Workshop Open, GW Open, or an FLG event. Shout out to all of those. Those are the people who are pioneers doing absolutely amazing in the industry. But here we wanted to show off as well a little bit and kind of talk to our people. The biggest reason me and Tim put this together is that Tim and his construction and his passion with Crucible and my aligned passion with the Warhammer 40K community with his, we wanted to put something together and give you an opportunity where we can sit down with you all, introduce ourselves, look at you as an individual, a name, and get personable instead of looking at you as a number, right? I know Tim and I never look at individuals like that, so we just wanted to expound on that at the event and talk to people, have a good time. Now, there's going to be, I know there's going to be restaurants around and things like that, so feel free to enjoy yourself while you're there. But we're going to have a quick little social night. It's going to be water around, and I believe a couple of snacks that I'm going to make sure to bring as well to help out everyone. Maybe some trick-or-treat candies a little bit early. But come out to the social night. I know we're going to have a couple of YouTube celebrities there as well. Tim is going to be there. He'll stop by and kind of help out, answer any questions that you might have for the narrative side. So that's going to be our social night on Thursday. And then me and then a bunch of other people are going to be there hanging out, having a good time.
And if you come a little bit earlier, you can actually check into the convention and get your badge and get your swag bag associated with QuestCon, all that, and not have to wait in line Friday morning.
And most importantly, if you come in a little bit earlier than earlier, you can help volunteer or help us put up terrain and stuff.
Just so people know how many tables are we looking at GT and narrative, like each, and then total that terrain has to be set up for us to enjoy our 3 days of game playing.
Well, let's talk about the paint. So I think I've touched 1,300 pieces of terrain in the last 3 months. 1,300 pieces of terrain. 1,300. Yeah, 1,300. So that's number one. Number two, we are looking at up to 75 tables for the GT and up to 25 tables for the narrative.
So 100.
And just so everyone knows, they do not set themselves up. So, if you have the time, feeling generous, by all means, I'm going to be there to do it because, I'm a masochist and I volunteered myself. But it's, I look at it as more hangout time. You get to chill with cool people, talk, ask questions, joke. Good times. Not too bad. It's too bad when there's 2 of you doing it for 6 hours till like 2 a.m. That's when it's bad.
That's when it gets really bad. Yes, indeed. All right, Thomas, what else we got? Take us out of here. I think we have 1, 2, couple more. There we go.
No peeking ahead. See, he's trying to get the answer.
1, 2, couple more.
So this, this is for hobby and appearance. Do your models need to be painted? Yes, you should fully paint them up, and if they're unpainted, it's up to 70 points off, which is obviously 10 points over 7 rounds. And for a narrative, how important is paint, Tim?
Painting is real important. There's a lot of prize associated with paint. A lot of prizing. So yes, very important.
So every which way, paint your stuff.
Yep.
No grays, no just primed. paint on them.
The next one I
that-
already answered.
Well, staying on this, that also includes basing. You know, doesn't say it. The base
Correct.
is now part of the model intent. It says it in the core rulebook.
Yes.
So
Right.
you also paint the model and base it as well.
Yep.
So just proxies, we've already answered. You know, the answer is no.
Yep.
Conversions must be approved in advance, and I believe the email they need for you is definitely in the player pack to ask about any questions about model verification.
Yep, it's in the Discord section right here. People go to Discord, you'll find my player packet on there. You'll find
Right there.
all the information on Crucible narrative and on the GT side in there. And if you
So-
have official rules questions, go to the forum.
And I'm going to make this real easy for everyone. If you didn't ask them and get a yes, don't consider it's probably approved just to show up and get your feelings hurt.
Bingo.
Is there a painting contest? We talked about this about 50 minutes ago, but, you know, it does bear mentioning again. Lewis, is anyone going to be judging based off of, you know, paint and artistic style alone?
Impending Duff will. Best paint, best appearance. Now, best sport will be between me and Tim, but Duffy might be able to help out with that as well. We won't put that on him, but that'll be on me and Tim. Me and Tim will be running around answering questions and doing things like that.
So
And I'm looking to find something really special for the best sport.
So it's up to all. If there's 100 tables, 2 people per table, there's 200 of us. So we all got to between us decide is Lewis or Tim the best sport throughout the event, and just vote
That's
for
right.
them.
Yes, exactly. I heard Tim is gonna do best a masseuse for best sport. Just right there, a standing massage for 20 minutes while they're playing.
Can I cash that in on Saturday night around 8:00? I might need that.
Money in the bank, baby.
Paint your models. Ask your questions before you arrive, before lists are due, even because it gets. Real quick question: lists are due. What happens if someone makes a change after they submit their list? Let's just say, "Oops, I left this character in, but I forgot I switched attachment, so I'm just going to switch it out for this scout squad." But it's Thursday at 5 p.m. What happens to said player if they send you that message?
Usually, if lists are not live, usually I'm very lenient with people. It's even in the player packet. But if not, then yellow card point deduction.
So, that is why he spent so much time. And these are this is his player pack. I am simply a mouthpiece, as he said. But he did put a lot of time and thought into when's a good rules cutoff, what's best for us to enjoy, to give GW the most chance to get the most rules possible to play with. This is all for our fun and fairness. So again, if you don't want to get Murphy's Law into having a bad time, make sure the I's are dotted, the T's are crossed, and we're all going to show up and play games.
Love it.
Speaking of playing games, what if I play slow? What if I just decide to take 30 minutes to deploy my 5 knights, just humming and hawing where I want to put them? What happens?
First of all, I do have a milestone in my player packet. What a milestone is something very familiar to what Games Workshop uses, right? In their events. A milestone is just a reminder that this is the allotted amount of time, roughly, that you should be using throughout these phases and steps throughout the game. So, for example, deployment should probably only take 5 to 10 minutes per person, right? So after 20 minutes of 3 hours, you should both be deployed. After about an hour long from those 3 hours, you should already be going into your second battle round. All right. So those are those milestones. If you find yourself in a position where you're going slow and your opponent calls me over or you call me over or whatever the situation might be, I will enforce a clock, and you will be put on a clock, and then you will be able to split the time between both you and your opponent, or however the situation is. It might have been where maybe you used 40 minutes of your time, and the opponent took 0, so it'll be on a situation basis. But basically, that's what's going to happen. You'll just be put on the clock, and just so everyone's aware, too, the final day, the last 20 participants. Last 10 on the top bracket and elite bracket, will all be on clocks all day long. So,
And what if someone wants to, just on the subject of clocks, let's just say, someone comes up to the table and they just see 300 orc boys across from them, and they're like, "We're gonna need a clock for this game." And the other player's like, "Nah, I got it. I don't need a clock to play my horde list." And they call you over and say, "Hey, I think they should have a clock," and they say they don't.
I'm the only person who can enforce a clock on someone. So please have yourself and that individual come up to me. I want to do that on a situational basis as well. Sometimes people use the clock to weaponize it. I don't want people to use it for toxic reason. Just use it fairly. If you and your opponent agree, you don't have to come up to me. If you and your opponent have an issue, one of you need to come up to me and tell me exactly what's going on and why you don't want to use a clock, right? And sometimes they can be weaponized, but hopefully that's not the case, right? But that's exactly what will happen.
And as everyone can see, there are progressive penalties for slow playing if you continue to do it in the same game or over different rounds of the event against other people. You get a warning, you get a fair, hey, you took, again, an hour just deploying and taking your first turn. And then it's like, hey, you're, like go hemming and hawing, stopping middle of their turn, seeing for each stratagem. So, just kind of keep an eye on it. And like we said, we keep saying, just play honestly, play. This is a fun event. Yes, the GT is the competitive side, but we can all compete and still have fun and make it a good we are playing the game together. It is not inherently antagonistic just because we're both trying to win. What if someone quits though? What if they concede for any number of reasons? Whether it's a genuine rage quit, their dice just didn't roll higher than a 2, for like 3 rounds in a row, a family emergency comes up, a personal emergency, work call, any number of things could draw someone away from this event. This is very much a hobby, a luxury to come to. So what if someone just has to full stop, hey, we're only an hour in, but I gotta go?
On the GT side, there's varying levels to this. If you and your opponent agree to a certain stop point or the time has expired for the actual round itself, then the points are calculated right then and there, right? So whatever points for the two individuals is just calculated at that moment. If someone concedes, rage quits, or some kind of situation like that, or just says, hey, I just want to concede, I don't want to play this game, then it's just 100 points to 0 points, not even the painting points. No penalties, just, hey, this is what happens. You get 0 points, the other person gets 100 points.
So there is a little bit of kind of case by case, but for the most part, if you just don't, if you just say, nah, I don't want it and walk away, 100 to 0 is what you're accepting for them and yourself.
Absolutely.
What if someone cheats or fakes results? Someone pulls out, pocket Hellbrute or has some dice that don't have any ones on them. Any number of things we've all seen on Reddit and YouTube over the past couple of months. Or if you say, hey, you got the score, and they say, yeah, and suddenly they put in their score as yours and your score as theirs, and now they won where you should have.
Don't do it, people. I love you all. Listen, I want to have a wonderful Crucible 2025. I want you all to have the best experience lifetime. Enjoy yourself. Hopefully you have the opportunity to win it all, right? We are your coaches. All we want to see is you succeed and have a great time and win. Please just don't do it to yourselves, my people.
Yeah.
Right?
Don't put us in that position.
Yeah.
We don't want to be mean to our friends.
Yeah, we don't want to be mean to our friends, right? Just be great. Have a great time.
Going back real quick, Tim, on the narrative side, if someone tries to slow play for whatever reason, it's what my army would do, like D&D style player. Someone acting in bad faith, let's say. What happens on the narrative side?
So slow play really isn't an issue because we're only playing 2 rounds per day, right? So we got round 1 and then lunch. There's a lunch break. I always allow some time playing into lunch, right? Yep. So it's a little bit more flexible. And then the evening, there's a point where I'm like, guys, I gotta go to bed. You guys need to give me scores, right? Really,
It's 10
really.
o'clock at night. What's going on?
There's only one round that's diced down, and that's the last round, right? But with that said, I'm going to, right? I mean, we don't have an indefinite amount of time. There's elements and activities that need, I don't want you to miss out on, or I miss out on. So, or your friends that are waiting on you will miss out on. So it's more flexible. It's less strict, but it's not. We can play 24 hours. It's definitely not that. So
have fun, but don't abuse it.
Correct.
Yep.
And real quick, you said something there that some people might not know, and Lewis said it the same, just in different ways. Dice down. Lewis, can you go ahead and explain? Because you said as well, if time runs out, you explain what dice down is. So if they hear it over the intercom, all 200 people are on the same page of what that means.
I love it. I love it. No, that's a great point that you brought up. Thank you very much, Regal. So everyone is aware. Dice down is when the allotted time, the 3 hours that you're getting at Crucible for the GT side, when your time is up, you have to stop rolling dice. You finish playing the game, you start talking to your opponent, figuring out the last round, whatever you have remaining, wherever you're existing, whatever actions you have to calculate, or secondaries and things like that. Wrap up the game and go and get prepared to go to the next round. Now, a lot of you are going to get a great opportunity of about 10 to 15 minutes between every single round, because we're not in a store. We're actually at a great, huge venue. So we have some extra time, not too much extra time though. So please do not abuse it. Just like the narrative side, we are going to have 2-hour lunches. So I might be able to allow some people to kind of play into lunch. I usually do it at my RTTs. I kind of want to refrain from that if we're getting like 100 people doing that. But basically, those are the type of things, right? I don't want to pressure people. I want to make sure that people are having a great time, especially if they're in contention. And do not forget, most importantly, for going back onto the painting stuff, and now that we're talking about the awards and stuff, if you're going to go on stream, you have to be painted. That's going to be my stipulation for people who are going on stream. I want you to be a great representation of Crucible itself. So I want you to have a painted army. So if you don't have a painted army, you're probably not going to get on stream. And if it's like erroneously way off from being WYSIWYG, you're probably not going to go on stream either. So just be cognizant of all that, right? Make sure you're doing what you need to do to enjoy yourself over the weekend.
Yep. Two things. One, on the topic of stream. Also, if you are voted, because that's how, I don't know what's happening this year, but last year, Trevi did a poll in chat, say, hey, these are like 3 or 4 matches. What do you guys want to see? And if you get picked, you can always decline. There is no, pressure to force you on a stage in front of a camera and on a microphone. It's so, they don't feel like, oh, I have to, because, you can say no and play your game, anonymously in the crowd. The other thing, though, back on the score thing real quick, because I've seen it at smaller events as well. My advice, and I live by this, I believe both players should score both turns all game long, and at the end of every turn check, because there's a lot happening in a game. A unit could be battle shocked. You could say, oh, I'm doing this action, then realize you need to advance to get there, so now you're not eligible to. All kinds of stuff. There's, the points just changed not that long ago on the card. So some people, don't need, like, I just had a game not too long ago by someone who plays in competitive quite a bit that didn't realize that they were scoring engaged on all fronts because they were in 2. They didn't realize that 2 was an option now. So small things can happen. It's not always cheating. If you have 12 and they have 9, they might not be cheating you points. They just might not have realized. So that's a very good way to always be on the same page. Because at the end of the game, if you have 78 and they have you at 56, how do you go back 3 rounds and determine, where you were and whatever? So
absolutely. Yep.
Quick tip for everyone to be happy on the same page and just minimize the variance of, like Lewis said, attrition and just, complications coming up.
Keep track of your points. Both of you, both participants, keep track of your points. That way you know exactly what's going on. You can compare notes at the end. And that's it. Enjoy your game.
Yep. But on to awards. Everyone's favorite thing at the this is at the end of day 3 after round 7. So
yes.
even though the event, there has 7 rounds, there is another hour, 90-ish minutes of event time for, celebrating and handing out awards.
This is when me and Tim are rocking on fumes. We are walking, living on fumes. At this point in time, we've been through this for years. Him more so than me, obviously, but we've been through it.
And dreading the teardown.
Oh, yep. Woo, teardown is going to be horrendous. Yeah, but all the awards are going to be great. So a ton of awards every category is going to get. And
is there a wooden spoon this year?
No, me and Tim kind of get away from that. It has a negative connotation, we believe.
However, I'm glad you bring that up, Regal, because
maybe bring it back. I don't know.
Whenever you lose, if you lose a game in the GT, you get an extra raffle ticket.
Yep. That was planned. I planned for that segue. You're welcome.
Yeah. So throughout the GT, all the loot, all of the extra stuff that we've gathered through donations, through purchasing because of with entrance fees, that sort of thing, there'll be categories that you can put raffle tickets in, and then get an opportunity. You get more raffle tickets for losing games.
I love you. I love the you can just tell that Lewis is just not. Well, the banner is great too, but you can just tell Lewis just does not give a crap about the Imperium. It's like Astra Militarum. I'm a veteran. I got a tank on my logo. I respect them. Grey Knights, Sparkles. They're both shiny. Dark Angels, Blood Angels, they get wings. Space Marines, all of them. Chaos General fight. Orcs, they get their own. Just Xeno. You get Orcs, Tyranny, the whole breakdown. We're here for it. Although, Lewis,
get nothing.
I also, God, this is.
Space Dwarfs. What?
No one expects Votan to win. There's just no Votan.
What? What? I just saw John Lennon lose to Votan.
Ooh.
I'm just saying.
I want to know what 99 cents a month is feeding me. Like, what are you doing? What in the Soylent Green is going on up in here?
Listen, that feeds a lot. That feeds you a lot of people. Okay, it can feed you too. 99 cents a month. It adds up. It stacks up, man. Ramen noodles.
Cards on the table. Chaos is not a bad vote with Death Guard, Thousand Suns, even Chaos Knights. But I'm going to tell you guys, Tyranids are going to win it. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
World leaders are going to win it.
You're not even playing.
That's what, hey, a man can dream. I can fantasize. Okay? I could just see myself now not actually playing in Crucible and winning it all.
All episode you have heard. Well, first of all, there is, as he said, there is, there are golden tickets. There is, best paint, best sport,
best in faction,
the best in faction, which they do have every breakdown. It is not, the joking aside, there is going to be. So if you want to play your army, even if it's not good, you still can, show your skill, your captainship, and be acknowledged for it.
Whoa, Tom.
And we got some amazing best in class trophies again this year. My son has been going to town on those, so they're starting to look really, really good. So
amazing,
lot to play for.
Matter of fact, a lot of several YouTube channels have them on display. Just to let you know. Very, very nice. So it's very, very nice to see them all around, seeing all the fruits of the labor of what Tim has brought throughout all of the years, all the prizes and everything. So not only is this show all about Tim and Crucible itself, but also a big thank you for everything that you've done for us in the community for all these years, brother. As always.
Well, thank you. But you're a big part of it, Lewis. So we couldn't do it without you.
Many more years to go, too.
Well, you are younger than I am. You are younger.
The only other thing I'll tell people, to bring, as we said, is going to be a 3 all-day events. Saturday being the longest, just for the GT side, and maybe the narrative, because as I said, I don't want to use the term relaxed, but there are events that happen, things that could prolong play, which means for all of us, we're going to be standing, hunched over, other than lunch, largely not going out. So bring drink water, wear comfy shoes. Have snacks if you're able, because we also don't want people passing out, getting low blood sugar.
Right.
This isn't really seen as like a super athletic thing, but there is a danger of, if you don't take care of yourself, you will just collapse or suffer physically.
Here's an important question for Tim that I can't answer. A lot of people have asked me, Tim, what are your thoughts on people bringing in igloos, things like that, or people who
I don't know nothing.
Got it. There you go.
I don't know nothing.
You heard it here first.
I know nothing.
I don't know what that means, so I'm
not sure I understand the question. So next,
I'm genuine. Great.
What was that meme that you sent me? It was like, I don't hear you. Matter of fact, I can't hear you right now, man. I'm deaf and blind.
I love that.
I can't see you right now, ma'am.
Dating myself a little bit from Hogan's Heroes. I know nothing.
There you go. Nada. So yeah, enjoy yourselves, everyone. Enjoy yourselves. Any other questions anybody kind of want to throw out there? Regal, if you got questions,
I have a PSA for everyone, not a question.
Got it.
You've heard him say ask him, but he is one man, as is Tim for his event. There, are very real possibility that you might not be the only one that has a problem or questions. So I'm not saying don't ask or don't flag if you genuinely need something resolved. But just do keep in mind that if a rule exists and is searchable, do your due diligence before 200 people or 100 are flagging these guys down between the events.
Yeah.
Because if your match will go over 3 hours if you don't play for 20 minutes because he hasn't gotten to you yet.
Listen, we're gonna get our steps in, Tim.
Now, on that note, I suggested, and he hasn't done it because he's a masochist, but I told him just buy a magic 8-ball and put it up front and just tell everyone, if I can't come to you, go consult the 8-ball.
I do that for terrain questions. You ask me if you bring up a terrain question, it always comes up no.
That has been decided. Your future is bleak.
Oh, real quick, something I want to ask personally. I'm curious. I don't plan on doing it, but there might be some people who want to, for friends they haven't seen in a while because of travel or whatever. Rivals from past events. Normally at your smaller events, you do call outs. Are call outs going to be allowed this event or no because of the size and prestige of it?
I'll let Tim answer that first.
For the narrative, absolutely, there are call outs. That's the whole part. That's a big part of the experience. But I can tell you on the GT side, there are no call outs. Right? This has got to be everybody should be in your crosshairs, right? Because it's all about being the top.
They are. Look, this jersey is going to have a patch thing on it somewhere, and I'm going to put army logos as complete biomass. Not this event, but for future events, you will see assimilated biomass.
Shout out to the sponsors, by the way. Shout out to the sponsors, man. Beautiful jerseys.
Yeah,
very nice.
I forgot what name I put on it. I was surprised. I opened it. I was expecting one name, and I'm like, oh right, okay, cool. We're just doing that this week.
We got to get Tim one too. I got one coming for Tim before the holidays.
Awesome.
I got you. I got what you needed for that, by the way. That's
very cool. I'm super excited.
Yep.
He has what you need, Tim.
Hey.
No, that's usually WCW where we spoon. What?
No, I was. For some reason, I've had freaking Idiocracy on the mind. I'm like, Brando. It's got electrolytes.
Yeah. First comedy that became a documentary.
It had electrolytes. What do you mean? It had electrolytes. Plants want it.
Oh my gosh, what a movie! That's such a good movie.
Oh my gosh.
I have no more questions other than I'm super excited. It's in the player pack, but just for ease of listening, immediate gratification. What time should people expect to have to get up for this event? We talked about how late it goes, but how early should people expect to rise and be there on time?
I think we're both starting at 10:30. I think our times are synchronized, right, Tim? At least
we're really close.
We're really close.
I have some briefing sessions in the morning.
That's why
that are part of the narrative. I have them posted in my player packet, which is on Best Coast Pairing, and also in the event description on the website for the event. But I try to keep the time similar because you've got friends playing the GT, right, and the narrative, and part of the convention thing is going out and talking war stories, going out to dinner and talking war stories, or one of my traditions is a board game, right? Some of my friends would go over to the other side of the convention hall and we pull out a board game and we play board game till midnight, so yep. But they do start earlier on Saturday and Sunday so we can get through all of our events and also too, right? People travel and we've got to tear it down. And
I believe the GT is 10:30 Friday, 9:30, and 9:30 Saturday and Sunday.
I think that's a similar time for the narrative, but I don't remember what I wrote down there, but it's probably close in that same ballpark.
And Lewis, should people, arrive half an hour, 15 minutes early on Friday for any briefing for the GT side?
So in my player packet, 9:30 a.m. is announcements. Round one actually starts at 10 on Friday, and then 9 on Saturday and Sunday.
So 9:30, 9, and 9 for the GT side if you're over there.
And if you haven't checked in on Friday, you need to get there early enough because there's going to be a line to get checked in. So to the convention. So it's double whammy. Check into the convention and then check into your event. So there are two things. So if you can come Thursday, you can check in early. But there are going to be lines, and we've got thousands of people coming to QuestCon and Enter the Crucible. So they're all going to be trying to get their badges. So plan accordingly.
And by lines, he does mean for the we are, like you said, you got to buy a convention pass and an event pass. So it is not just the 200 or so players; it is everyone else attending those panels, board games, all of that too.
Yep.
So there's not separate lines; like you're there.
Yep.
So and this 9:30, is when to be in the event hall, looking for your table, not walking in the door to go get your badge.
Yeah, and all of those people checking you in are volunteers, unpaid volunteers. So be nice to them. Be nice to all the volunteers, right?
Yeah.
All of them throughout the con, right? They're there, giving up their weekend so you guys can have a good time, and which is awesome. Some of them are family members, at least for now. It may not be after this, but
but please come and help us out. There are so many things to do. Come and help us out. Me and Tim will try to figure out maybe a little pizza thing we'll do or something. I don't know, maybe snacks or something. We'll try to figure something out.
Yeah.
So come and help us out if you can.
Absolutely. I can't wait. It's less than 2 weeks away.
I'm so stoked and anxious as I keep counting the models I got to get done, but it's okay. I'll figure it out.
I mean,
tell me about it.
It's a week and 3 days, right? Yeah.
Stop. Why?
All the trophies are painted. The terrain is getting painted. Footprints are getting painted. Sponsors are getting accolades. And General Slaughter's over there ready to adjudicate.
I'm ready to have a great time. I'm ready to be in the Seminole Ballroom to midnight every single night and enjoy myself with all of the community members, seeing all of you there. I love it. Tim and I always sit down and reflect on all the people we always end up seeing. There's going to be a ton of special guests. There's going to be tabletop radio hour as well. Shut your mouth, man.
Not what plants crave. We should get a Brando sponsorship. Just a big Brando banner. Oh, I do have one more question right at the end because it did come up last year. I doubt it's going to come up this year.
Yeah, go ahead.
But is there any time adjudication for like emergencies? Like last year, there was a fire drill, I believe, in the middle of like round 3 or 4.
There were
like,
2 fire drills.
Power outage, fire drill, you know, things, acts of God, so things out of everyone's control.
Please no. I hope not.
Absolutely. There will be no fire drills this year.
Hopefully not.
That noodlehead, whoever was smoking in his room, not once but twice. Don't do it. Go outside.
Wow, did it twice. Didn't learn the first time, did it a second time. What a moron.
Tim
just go outside.
He said it was such authority that I'm like, this man just straight up cut the security. He's like, no, Clint.
Yeah.
Not today.
Yeah.
That is crazy. Make sure to get your parking spots also, right, Tim? On
yep.
The day
get your parking spots in advance. It'll be cheaper to do that way.
There you go.
Please come out. If you haven't got your tickets, get your tickets. It's gonna be awesome.
And you get to see this gorgeous face. Luscious, spicy churro.
I'll be okay. I'm okay. Okay.
I think I threw up in my mouth. I did. I just want slap ass.
Oh my goodness. We better end this before you get yourself in trouble.
Okay, we're not sponsored. We're not. It's fine.
It'll be fine. It's okay.
Everything is fine. Sponsors all gone.
I'm gonna send an email to Brando. We're gonna do great.
We'll be just fine. No, thank you very much to everyone. Thank you, Tim. Thank you, Regal, as always. To everyone, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Show us some love. This is the only way we have the opportunity to continue to do content like this with you. And I have to feed this man, Regal. Look at him. I have to continue to feed him. So please, 99 cents per month. We'll feed this man.
If you see me eating at the event, that was you. You did that. You feel good.
Come and see us at Crucible. Say hello to Tim. Say hello to me. Come say hello to everyone at the event. Anything you need to say, Tim, before you head out and Regal afterwards?
I can't wait. Look to see you. I'll see you at Crucible.
I'm super excited. If you have, the pleasure of playing against me, I wish you a good match and congratulate you on your win.
And I hope to see everyone there. Please, no high amounts of attrition. Come out, have a wonderful time. Be safe in your travels. And take care. See you very soon. See you next Thursday or Friday.
Hopefully, if you're not there Friday, you got problems. But
yeah, you got problems. You're not there Friday.
See everyone.
Have a wonderful night, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Peace out.